Okay, hello everybody. I will talk to you about a organization called Eurocities. Eurocities is a network of 130 major cities. We have been working on migration issues now for a number of years. The objective has been a better management of the integration process at local level. But you should also know that we are a lobbying organization and we are trying to raise cities' voice vis-à-vis EU. In 2010, we launched the Eurocities Integrating Cities Charter. This charter represents cities' commitment for integrating migrants in 4 fields. Namely cities as policymakers, service providers, employers, and buyers of goods and services. The charter has been signed so far by 35 cities, including the city of Toronto. The commitments of the charter are made concrete by a series of transnational peer and mentoring projects. They have been financed by the European Integration Fund in the past. Thanks to the funding, we have been able to produce practical toolkits for the use of our colleagues at city administrations and interested interlocutors. Member cities also collaborate through city-to-city learning and mentoring visits. Our most recent visit was to Gdańsk in Poland. Our team consisted of cities of Ghent and Barcelona, as well as our Eurocities policy officer at the Eurocities Secretariat. They elaborated Gdańsk integration model in a difficult national context. And I think Marta will tell us a little bit more about this later. The latest Eurocities report is based on a survey of 34 cities in 17 EU states. It showcases trends and practical implications of the challenges of daily arrival asylum seekers. I will highlight some of the key findings and recommendations of our report. Well, last year, more than 1 million migrants and asylum seekers crossed into Europe. Vast majority arrived by sea. Some have made it their way over land. Cities performed various roles as first points of arrivals, transit hubs, and ultimate destinations. In our report, you will find as an attached some of the estimations of those figures that we have received asylum seekers. In most European countries, cities do not have competence to care for asylum seekers. However, the scale of arrivals forced cities to play a role without a legal mandate or specific budget to do so. However, the scale Cities managed to assemble refugee task forces in a matter of days. Others had made more time to prepare. In best scenario, cities were able to coordinate closely with the regional and national level in accordance with the agreed contracts and responsibilities. In some cities, they showed leadership and ability to coordinate city services, even in the absence of national response. Many cities opted for an open and transparent communication on the reality of the situation on real time. Many administrations also made an effort to position their cities as welcoming towards refugees, as we have already heard, the German cities, but also many of our member cities did so. Some cities have also taken explicit human rights approach to migration, which has led to generally inclusive and accepting attitude, like in the case of Ghent and Vienna. Transparent communication has also proved crucial to diffuse ignorance and tensions. The civil society has been mostly responding positively in our cities. We have been talking about an unprecedented tsunami of positive volunteering, which has offered shelter, material goods, language courses, etc. This has been a valuable additional resource that cities didn't actually foresee in advance. Many cities, however, report concerns about the rise of anti-migrant groups, attacks and vandalism of refugee shelters. Security concerns have also resulted in clashes and increased police presence in some cities. Housing is crucial. In our report, we conclude that mass reception centers should be avoided, even for the transit period. Decentralized reception and housing make it easier to promote integration within communities. We work with our own housing stock, refurbishing empty office buildings and hospitals, and coordinate initiatives among residents willing to host refugees in their homes. Providing affordable housing for refugees is challenging, but cities are working hard to ensure fair living conditions. To avoid marginalization through housing, much effort has been made to distribute asylum seekers and refugees across city in individual housing units. This has been the case in Helsinki for many years. The aim is to alleviate tension and foster long-term integration. Cities have also had to increase their educational infrastructure at all levels in order to rapidly accommodate refugee children and unaccompanied minors. Migrant associations are being mobilized to help minors with their schoolwork. In terms of cities as employers, Solna City in Sweden has offered summer jobs in the municipality. 60 out of 300 vacancies were earmarked for refugee minors. Cities are trying to speed up the process of labor market integration of asylum seekers and refugees. Innovative private initiatives have emerged to help connect refugees with available jobs and navigate with the bureaucracy. A lot of effort is being made to assess the skills, qualifications, and work experience. In Helsinki, we have launched a so-called International Helsinki concept, International House Helsinki concept, where we collaborate with private sector, actually the Chamber of Commerce and other private entities and the third sector, plus the Labour Office. The idea is a demand-based recruitment to enterprising, willing enterprises and mentoring. Cities have responded to the refugee crisis in the context of budget cuts and recruitment freezes, and often with little financial support from national or regional governments. At the moment, city budgets are tight, and European funds, such as Asylum and Integration Fund, are not directly accessible for cities. Peculiar situations emerge, like our colleagues in Athens applying for funding from United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, who has been sponsored by the European Union Emergency Fund. Funding for integration should reach the local level without filters or barriers. Although there has been a strong urban dimension for refugee crisis since last summer, cities continue to lack a seat when it comes to policy. The report recommends that European cities should have greater policy input, both at national and EU level. Integration is the next step for European cities and needs to be the main priority for action under the European Agenda on Migration as well. Thank you.